What's up, Samurai? We are back in sport, and today is a special day because I finally was able to afford the rest of the Delve mounts. I think it's all of them anyways. Thankfully, they were cheap. Considering what they normally sell for, they were a lot cheaper on the player market. So I just kind of went for it. I did end up using up a lot of my flux. Why is it broken? Okay, all those sold, cool. I think I'm using, yeah, the mod must have enabled itself, which is a little out of date. But anyways, so I wanted to go through all of these Delve mounts with you guys, just because I thought that it would be kind of interesting to do so. So if we end up going to, where is it? So here's the Delves tab. You can see I've got quite a few of them, but I am missing some of them, which we are going to go through today. And we're not going to, well, I guess we could go through these really quick as well. But anyways, we better get started. So a lot of these are going to end up being just items you get from Delves and from other areas and junk like that. I'm not going to be going into detail of where you get them, just because, frankly speaking, I don't know. Like this one, for example, I think is a rare drop from Pinata God if it spawns in the Delves, if I'm not mistaken, which is why some of these items are so expensive, because they're very difficult to actually obtain. But anyways, here's going to end up being a little elephant. Okay, cool. He's got glasses. He's a little bit of a nerd, and that's okay. Where, wait a minute. Is it all the way at the top? Yeah, it is. Okay, I keep going to the wrong stuff. And then anyways, there's a red one, so whatever. Okay, cool. But then there's this one, which this guy actually looks a little bit cooler, albeit very, very strange, and has like 4 eyes and stuff like that. All right, cool, whatever game. And then there's going to end up being this one, which is a butterfly reskin, and you know, he's going to flap around. It is going to end up being a flying mount. Okay, cool. A lot of these, again, you will be able to find on the player market. Some of them are going to be more rare than others. This, for example, is an item, to clarify what I said about Pinata God. A lot of the items from Shadow Tower bosses are still available in the Shadow Tower from those bosses. But then items like this is another item that you can get from Spikewalker, but it's exclusive into the Delves, which is kind of stupid when you think about it, just because, like, I don't know, it just kind of defeats the entire purpose of having Shadow Towers, but hey, whatever. And then there's going to end up being this throne, which, you know, it doesn't have a backside, whatever, that's okay. I kind of low-key wish that it was animating. I think that would be a lot cooler if the tentacles were moving around and stuff. And then we've got the Skulk Pin Air blah, 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 which is going to end up being one of the new ones that I couldn't get previously just because of how expensive it was. This is, we basically took Pinata God's head and removed his brain. And made a home out of it. So I mean, yeah, it's a cool mount, that's for sure. Very expensive on the player market just because of how difficult it is to obtain. Does it have Mag Rider capability? No, it just flies around. Okay, cool, whatever. And then that means I got to favorite a bunch of these actually. And then there's this one, which is from Daughter of the Moon, as far as I know. And it's just going to end up being a carpet reskin, so it does fly around and flops all over the place weirdly. It does have nice VFX when it jumps, but it's very subtle and very weird at the same time. I mean, a lot of these Delves items are, not to necessarily imply that they're bad. Then there's this one, which is Daughter of the Moon's gun. So again, this is going to be something that is dropped from Dot, so that's pretty cool. And the VFX, though looking kind of weird, is the same VFX that she has when the gun charges when you fight her. Do you guys remember Daughter of the Moon even? I don't, because it's been years since we bothered actually fighting her, because you never see these bosses in the Delves. Oh, and then there's Lunaclipsia. This is Lunaclipsia from Daughter of the Moon as well. Lunaclipsia is one of the most rarest items, at least that I've seen based on player pricing and stuff like that. I think it's also just because of the fact that this mount is a Pegasus mount. So it does use whatever wings we have equipped, which, I mean, lots of people like that. I'm not the biggest fan. You know, I rarely end up using any mounts that aren't just for utility, like Volatile Bounder. I still think that it would be cool if we could use mounts as skins over top the mounts that we're currently using. You know, like, why can't I just use this just for the vanity of it, but then it still has the functionality of Volatile Bounder? I don't know. I know that would be kind of weird, but I think it would work. And then we've got the Icebreaker Tortoise, which, you know, whatever. He's just a tortoise. He does swim, though. And the way that these turtles swim is always very, very ridiculous. I'm not a very big fan of the turtles. They're just kind of reskins of the PvP items. And then there's going to be the Tamed Quetzal. This one I really like. He looks so stupid, and he's just adorable. I think this was from an event, if I'm not mistaken. He's very unique as well, because he's basically a dragon reskin, but he doesn't actually have 4 legs, which is funny because you guys remember there's actually a Halloween dragon where he's a bat, and they just made it a bat dragon. Like, he's got like 4 legs and stuff. When it's like, they could have easily just done something like this. You know, I think that would have been a lot cooler. But that's actually a really cool mount. I really like that one a lot for whatever reason. I need to favorite it. And then there's the Most Ancient Coin Chain, which, if I recall, is from Fey Wilds in the Delves. And this one is very expensive, and I don't know why. Like, it's very ugly, obviously. But it's just going to end up being a worm reskin. And yeah, that's all there really is to it. I don't know why he leaves like a sticky... I don't know why he's got the sticky VFX, even though he's clearly made out of like cubes. He does have a cute face though. But anyways, then moving on, there's going to end up being the Yoked Yoke. This, as far as I know, is from the Easter egg event or Easter event or whatever, right? It's just going to end up being a egg yolk mount thing that was from an event biome, if I recall. Again, I'm not 100% sure on most of these. This, I think, was also from an event. I could be mistaken, but it is going to end up being a bee, and he flies around, and I mean, he looks adorable and stuff. Because there was a honey biome, right? I think. And then what was the other one? The next one was another one that I didn't have unlocked. The Fey Throne. Okay, so maybe the worm wasn't from the Fey biome, because these are clearly from the Fey biome. Right? So there's the Fey Throne and then the Fey Wild Ride. I like how I didn't even get any mastery out of all of this. I mean, I got mastery, but I didn't get all of it. So this is going to end up being the throne, which, let me actually take my helmet off just so you guys can see. The back details are pretty nice. I'm not a big fan of these thrones just in general. I do like this one though. The VFX is broken though, because it's not showing the smoke on the ground as if the fire is being reflected back, which happens with some of the mounts. They definitely have a lot of inconsistencies. And then it is going to end up being the Fey motorcycle, which again looks pretty cool. It's basically like a neon motorcycle, but the difference being is that this one actually has the wheels rotating, which I appreciate very, very much that mounts actually do that. Now, it still has kind of the Tron trail behind it. So I don't know, it kind of takes me back. I still remember back when the motorcycle mounts were in the game, and it was like, oh, why aren't they animating? Oh, that's kind of lame, but whatever. They were still like really cool. And then there's Dahad, the Wisp Dancer, which I'm sure a lot of you guys probably already have this one because he's pretty common. I don't know. I've just seen a lot of people actually like claim this one, myself included. I just got it like a bunch of times randomly. It's kind of cool how he's like super transparent. I think the VFX kind of like almost visually glitches him out so that you can see through him super clearly. It's very odd, but it's kind of unique in that sense. Then there's a Spicy Shrimp. I do not remember what this is from, but good Lord, it is so cursed. It is so cursed. I don't know why it's got like a spicy pepper on the back of it or anything, but hey, whatever, it does end up flying. And then lastly is going to end up being the 2 most recent items that I ended up getting, which I had another video just highlighting, which is going to end up being out of the Castle Catastro biome. So there's this skull thing right here, which floats around. And then there is going to end up being the other one, which is another bee dragon reskin. You know, he's all fluttery and stuff like that. He's got nice VFX, and then he's going to end up flying in the sky and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys found this video helpful or entertaining or interesting or whatever. Again, I'm sorry I can't clarify with 100% certainty where a lot of these items are from. Just know that if you end up getting them, they're very, very rare and very expensive because unfortunately so many of these items are extremely situational where they'll only drop from a specific enemy, a specific biome, you know, and with Delves, you can't really pick. Like you kind of can, but you kind of can't at the same time. It's just, it's a system and I don't like it. But anyways, thanks for watching. Smash likes up for more, buy the merch you want to support the channel, and have a wonderful day.